The upcoming 12 hours or so are so critical for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. You're going to be shocked with what I'm about to cover on this video. The 19B4s are expected to come in by morning of New York, and if that happens, then we have a couple of more stages before we can get to an ETF launch. And that's the thing that people are getting confused about, so I will break down that entire process, explain you the differences, and where I think Ethereum will go towards in terms of price action, and when will it have a drop downwards. But without getting into any of that, just for culture, let's go into the price of Bitcoin and have a look at where it may go in the upcoming days or weeks. So there's something very interesting happening here on the chart. And the fact is, the Bollinger Bands are squeezing. The last time we had such a major squeeze on the Bollinger Bands was back in February of this year. And even before, it was in October of 2023. Now, we need to look out for two other things apart from the Bollinger Bands. And those are the parabolic SAR, buy and sell signals, and Consensio. So what we can see here in October was that when we had the Bollinger Band squeeze, we had Consensio, so the three moving averages that I've been talking about for the past I don't know how many videos, when they all crossed over at the same time alongside a Bollinger Band squeeze and we got that parabolic SAR buy, the price of Bitcoin shot from 26K all the way towards $45,000. Now you can see the exact same situation happening following the US spot ETF approvals. The price of Bitcoin converged. It didn't converge, but we had a consolidation period causing the Bollinger Bands to squeeze. We had Consensio flipping bullish. We had a parabolic SAR buy, and boom, the price of Bitcoin catapulted upwards to $67,000. Now we're forming this bull flag formation. We have a parabolic SAR buy. We have Consensio flipping bullish. And of course, we have the Bollinger Band squeezing. So I think the final leg up in this Bitcoin parabola could be due very, very soon. A parabola consists of like 5 legs towards the upside, and this would be the final leg, hopefully taking us to the $90,000 target where we can take some of our profits. I'm really hoping for that to happen. That's Bitcoin for you. It's pretty bullish on the macro. In the short term, a correction towards probably even 65 is possible, but I think 67K generally will give us very good level of support to bounce back towards the upside. So going into Ethereum went crazy today. We had like a 5.5% correction in just a matter of 2 minutes. And this was right before we went live on the Moon Show. I mean, there's clear manipulation on the market. The futures data was okay. If we look at the prior Bitcoin ETF approval and why we dumped from 47 to 38, futures was overheating. We had huge level of funding rates, making it basically unprofitable to hold Bitcoin long positions, and that caused the correction in the market. But if we look at Ethereum, that was not the case this time around. The market seemed healthy. I think it was a liquidity grab, and now we're just kind of consolidating, waiting for the 19B4 approvals. Now let's cover what are 19B4s. How are they significant? What is their role in the entire ETF approval marathon? And they're the first stage where we decide, okay, who are the authorized participants? Who is market making the ETF? What is the fee structure? Which exchanges are the ETFs going to be listed on? The New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, CBOE, etc. So it doesn't take too much time. Usually the issuers have like 2 months to prepare this. In this case, they had like 48 to 72 hours, which is mind blowing. And they have to prepare this. The SEC gives minor comments and boom, you should be good to go. After the 19B4 gets passed, now you go into the S1. The S1 is the longest taking process because it's usually used for IPOs. And for a company to go into IPO, the SEC is going to go through your entire financial history and go into every single audit possible, etc. So that process with the Bitcoin ETFs, it basically took a time of 3 to 4 months. In this scenario, I don't think it will take that long. It'll probably take much less. I think minimum 2 weeks, but maximum, let's say 4 months. And if this thing goes into summer, then there'll be more breaks with people going on holidays, etc. But in the macro sense, I think it's probably better for the S1 to be delayed as much as possible. Bitcoin breaking down from this bear flag, by the way. I think with a delay, we'll have a narrative that will last for longer. Ethereum's price can continue increasing for an extended amount of time, but as soon as these ETFs launch, Ethereum will probably have a significant correction because the amount of Anticipation for inflows, I've not seen it yet. There's not too much hype, but it will eventually come, and people benchmark Ethereum with Bitcoin. And the reality is we will probably only see like 10-15% of the total inflows from Bitcoin enter into Ethereum as separate capital. So that's going to be the case. I think there will be disappointment in the market, but in the macro, when we look at it from a big picture perspective, of course, institutions getting involved in Ethereum is massive. These guys are here to stay for long amounts of time. And for the future growth of Ethereum, I think it is absolutely fantastic. But regarding the S1s, we have rumors that the SEC already started to engage with Ethereum ETF issuers to start the process with the S1 forms. But apart from that, we're having Congress people send letters to the SEC chair, Chair Gary Gensler, to approve the ETFs as soon as possible. And look, I think at the end of the day, without a doubt, they will get approved. It's just a matter of when. If we look at BlackRock's approval history, remember, it's like 576 to 1. So it is very likely that they will get approved. And remember, we have the seeding process right before the approval. So expect, after the 19B4s are set, expect for a period of 2 months and until whenever the ETFs take place and to the point that they actually launch on the market, these issuers, including BlackRock, Fidelity, etc., they will buy up Ethereum to seed into their Ethereum ETF, just like what we saw with the Bitcoin ETFs. But that finalizes the entire ETF debacle. I hope that clarifies things a little bit more. And just to go into different news, I think we've covered everything basically. So last night we had the FIT21 bill getting approved. This is another fundamental change that has entered the cryptocurrency markets because we're now having regulation for the digital asset industry like never before. So this bill took approximately 2 years to make. I will put this thread as a link at the top right-hand section as a card. After this video finishes, I highly recommend you go through it. It's not too long, but it's super, super informative. So the new bill passed basically classifies 95% of tokens out there as commodities rather than as securities. So if we look at XRP and every other token that we were feared will be considered as a security in the market due to the lack of understanding by regulators, that's basically all gone. The only point that I'll mention is if a project owner or anybody affiliated with the project controls over 20% of the supply, then it's a no-go. But in your due diligence, when you look into different projects to invest, I would keep this on a tab and look through the points and just be careful with projects that may be considered a potential security, but it's very lenient, it's very vague, and I think it is incredible for the entire industry in the future, maybe not now, maybe not this year in particular, but going down the line, 2 years, 3 years, we'll probably see more altcoins getting their ETFs or like an index fund tracking multiple altcoins at the same time to get more institutional adoption. Overall, I think the industry is looking super bullish, especially with the fact that President Trump is accepting crypto donations for his campaign. Pretty wild. And we're seeing that the BlackRock ETF is surpassing the amount of Bitcoin held compared to Grayscale. Another huge win for us. I'm just hoping that the Chair Gensler's account does not get hacked this time. But when he tweets the Ethereum ETFs, I think he will tweet about it, maybe not. That's when we know, okay, it's go for launch. And everything is 100%. This is a funny tweet, which you would get if you're in the cryptocurrency industry. Basically, Nancy Pelosi, she said yes to this crypto bill last night. That was a huge win. And I watched the entire 3-hour process. It was very brain melting, but it was worth it. Nancy Pelosi said yes to the bill, and basically James here is saying that can't wait to find out that Pelosi aped into ETH on Monday morning. But with that said, guys and girls, I hope you enjoy tonight. There is probably going to be a lot of volatility, so brace yourself. I will be updating all the breaking news on Twitter and Telegram. I'll put a card and you can join the free Telegram channel down in the description below. But I'll leave you with that. Let's not stay up too late this night because we'll have a lot of volatility. Probably, maybe. Bitcoin won't be affected too much. I think it will just be Ethereum doing its own thing. I'll give you the updates as I said. So yeah, stay tuned, get some rest, and I'll see you all in the morning, hopefully tomorrow. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.